Hi everyone, this is Jonathan from HEXplore. Today I'm going to play the Forests of Adrimon, and I'm going to attempt to play a healer role in a one hero game, and the goal is going to be to try and get Valor. And this is a subsystem that we've developed for the game for each of our volumes that allows you to basically get a few different benchmarks in the game by completing different things. So for instance, in this game, I'm actually going to be trying to influence Elwyn the Dryad. And she is a expansion boss. She's actually a good guy at the beginning of the game. She's one of our allies. And the Dryad, she is going to allow us to get some really nice items. She's almost like the black market equivalent if we're talking a comparison between the Valley of the Dead King and Forest of Adrimon. And there will come a time in the game where she actually succumbs to the Magi's influence. So I'm going to be spending the game trying to do that. I'm also going to be trying to get Valor in other ways. And I'm going to be taking it slow. So I'm going to be traveling cautiously, and I'm going to be looking to avoid some fights. But I do get into some as well. So again, this is going to be a series. I'm not going to shoot the entire thing in one video. It will be a long video, but it will show you almost everything about the game from the perspective of a one hero healer attempting to complete the game. So I hope you enjoy. I will follow up with a summary at the end of this video. I'm going to be a Faun Floromancer, and I'm going to be playing with the Survivalist trait today. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'm actually going to be trying to get another point of Valor. I have never been able to influence Elwyn, so I'm going to try and do that for my Valor for this game. For those of you who don't know what Valor is, Valor is a system that is in each of our volumes whereby you can do some really interesting things with the game that doesn't necessarily involve actually winning the game. So basically getting extra specific milestones that you've achieved while playing. And in doing so, you will go ahead and be able to get bonus starting abilities when you play the game. So, let me get these shuffled here, and we can begin. Okay, so we have the Amulet of the Scholar, we have Jormunder's Shield, Arcaven's Staff, and the Starfire Ring. And then I will shuffle our circumstances. Put those out with the Helpful Nixie, Magi's Cultists, Sarthawin's Gemstone, a Great Elk, and Tormented Treants. Okay, let's put out some destinations. We'll shuffle that deck. And we'll put 2 destinations on each location, or on each relic, I should say. Okay, and then I'm going to put some destination tokens on any revealed locations. So we have one right here. We have one Keeper quest on D, which is going to be right here. We have a Keeper quest on A. So we have a couple Keeper quests, or destinations, I should say. All right, and then the rest are actually located on non-revealed tiles. Okay, then I'm going to shuffle my Fragment deck here.
and I'll set that aside. Shuffle our power-up cards here. And I'll set that aside as well. Okay, we have the Elwyn's Grove hex tile. I'm going to place this off to the side. Elwyn's Grove actually exists in a mirror dimension called the Fey Realm. So this is actually going to be used once we go to portals on the map that match Elwyn's symbol here. So a few of them exist on the map that we see right now. One exists on boss 5, which is Urgos, and one exists on boss 4, which is Hathawir. Now, when you go to one of these, you have to roll a navigate check, and if you're able to make that roll, then you're able to enter the Fey Realm. Alright, so the rest of these map tokens I'm just going to keep here. I've got my hex tiles off to the side, so if we expand the map, we can add those later. So just to give you a little information, the reason I chose a healer class is because in this volume, you actually, healers have the ability to basically heal the opponent, specific opponents who are able to be influenced. Now, the influencing mechanic basically means that instead of attacking your opponent, you're basically trying to bring them over to your side. And in doing so, you're going to get special special abilities. So, for instance, if we take on Hathawir, which is the Great Owl, Hathawir has been taken over by the Magi. And this great spirit, this creature, this magical creature, is normally a good creature, but because the Magi has taken it over, it has been corrupted. So the whole idea behind influencing is that you're going to get special things. So if we're able to influence Hathawir, we actually get to ride the Great Owl across the map, and he can take us from different points on the map. So that's why I chose the Floromancer. I don't know that I'm going to win this game against Adrimon, but again, I'm going to be playing for Valor. And then looking at our Faun here, I guess the reason I chose the Faun Survivalist is because there's a synergy here. So Fawns are playful and mischievous half-goats who will eat just about anything. Once per game turn for 2 energy, you may treat your survival roll result as a critical success. So that's going to really help me in battles against opponents that lay on conditions that require a survival check. But it also means that it ties really well into the survivalist trait. So let me read that. So I'll gain a TP point, a trait point, whenever I critically succeed a survival roll. Now, because the Faun can actually spend energy to cause that to happen, I can rank this up relatively quickly. Now, anytime I critically succeed on a survival roll, I heal both health and energy equal to my survivalist rank. So that is going to be able to help me stay alive without actually spending my my energy to actually do so. At rank 6, your survival critical success range increases by 2. So if I can get this up to 6, then I actually will critically succeed on a higher frequency of rolls. All right, one other thing to note is that I'm actually going for another point of valor in this game, and that is going to be to gather Hearts of the Forest, which is a essence. It's a nature's essence. And the whole idea behind the nature's essence in this game is that Elwyn the Dryad, she doesn't trade in gold. You can go here to heal, and you can basically go into the Fey realm to interact with the Dryad and gain a number of unique items. So, but they don't cost gold, they cost nature's essence. And there are 3 different types of nature's essence that you can get in the game. One of the ways you can get nature's essence is by critically succeeding on skill rolls during the skill phase. So whenever I critically succeed on a survival roll, I will actually be gaining an essence vine, which is a seed, an infused seed. So that is an item that you get to trade with in the in Elwyn's Grove. All right, so I think we're ready to start rolling to see where we're going to be located. So each of these purple locations is a city that has fallen to the Magi. So we're going to roll the six-sided die to determine where we start, and we're going to also roll a six-sided die to see where the Magi's Acropolis starts, or where her Acropolis exists. So we're going to roll that. We rolled a 5. That means the Acropolis is going to be centered on the 5th city, which is right here. Okay. And then we're going to roll again, and we're going to see where we're going to start. We're going to be starting on City 4. And you don't necessarily start in the city. You roll the die, and you are going to wander outside that city. So we wander northward, which is right here. Okay. Now, because we start in City 4, we're going to take the rulebook here, and you're going to see what you get for starting in City 4. City 4 is Darkassan. Darkassan is the city of scholars and teachers. Through years of study and discipline, they mastered anything they put their minds to. Each hero gains a +1 rank increase to a stat of their choice. Okay, that's actually really good. You know, I think I'm going to go with, because skills are so important here, I'm going to go with a 3. And the other thing is that because we have Valor, and we're using Valor, we get to start with the Valor bonus. So I have 3 points of Valor marked off for forests. I have 5 points of Valor for Valley of the Dead King, for a total of 8 Valor. So if I look here, I'm in the Adventurer level. So before the game begins, roll the 6-sided die and add it to your Valor score. So I'm currently at 8. That brings me to a 10. This may explode. Each hero gains 1 rank increase to a stat of their choice. So I'm going to do my extra stat increase to Explore, bringing that to a 3. All right. Now, not only do you get the rank that you are in, Adventure, but you also get the previous rank. So the previous rank is each hero gains gold equal to half their Valor score, to spend only on gear upgrades before the game begins. Any unused gold is lost. So that means I have 5 gold to spend on gear upgrades, and if I don't spend it all, then the rest is lost. So, let's see. Again, with skills being so important, I think I'm going to go with Navigate. That's going to help me not waste time. I'm going to raise that 3 up to a 4 by spending 3 of my 5 gold. My other 2, I'm going to plug into health. I think that's way important. So I go up to a 7 health. So Tumnus the Faun Survivalist Floromancer. He currently has 7 health, 9 energy, really weak attack, but pretty decent defend and first mastery, and really nice starting skill values. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to roll to see what gear we get for the city that we start in. And let's see here. In a 1-player game, we're going to get 3 gear upgrade rolls and 3 item rolls. In this game, you do not start with gold or food. You actually are you're stealing it from the city before you leave, because there's no one left who is sane in the city. They've all been taken by the Magi. We are going to basically take what we can when we leave the city, and that is rolling on this searching for gear table. So because it's a one-player game, I roll 3 times on the left and 3 times on the right. So let's take a look at that. I'm just going to roll all 3 of my dice. I got a hex. That means increase the rank bonus and roll again. So that's awesome. So that is a 3. That's going to be a +2 to navigate. Oh, this is awesome. Up to 6 navigate before we even begin the game. Then I'm going to have a 4. That is a +1 defend. And then what we have is an 8, which is second mastery, which I will definitely take. Okay. Then I get to roll on the equipment side, which is on this side. It also comes with food or gold or even possibly a power-up. So you're getting what's on this side as well as the food and the gold, and that's actually just talked about right up here. So let's see what we get for that. So I roll a 10. You find a dusty aged green fire potion and 1 food. Green fire potion. Okay, so that was my 10 value, and then I rolled a 9 value. You find a backpack with elven rations. Elven rations, that gives us 3 units of food. Okay, and trail maps. Trail maps will allow us to place a hex tile that contains a waypost on it. Okay, and then that also gives us 8 gold, and I rolled a 2. You found a trove of riches. So first we get 4 gold. I'm sorry, 4 food. 4, and we get to choose Wand of Ashes, Stealth Boots, or Wayfarer's Cloak. I'm going to go with the Wayfarer's Cloak. Okay, and then we are ready to play.
Okay, before we begin the game, let's go ahead and look at the Floromancer's abilities. We've already looked at what the Faun can do and what the Survivalist trait does. So let's take a minute to look at the Floromancer. So the Floromancer has 2 masteries, just like our other roles in the game. Synthesis, my most powerful mastery at this time, you may use Synthesis outside of combat to remove a level of starving. Each point of energy spent converts to 1 unit of food toward removing the effect. In combat, you may convert up to Synthesis rank energy, that's purple, from a target into twice the amount of health and use it to heal 1 target. So basically that means I'm doing a small sap of energy, and I can turn that into a heal. So against enemies, I can take their energy and heal them with it, or I can heal a target. I could heal me with it if I wanted to. So because this does not do energy drain, I will not be able to actually kill, take a health, inflict health damage to an enemy. So that means I will have to really rely on my favorite opponents. I might have to run from some battles, or I might have to get my attack rank up sufficiently where I can actually be combat viable. So it may be an interesting game from that perspective. As long as I'm moving cautiously and taking my time, I can avoid most fights. So that's a good thing. But as soon as I get Arrow of Light up to a sufficient level, some of my abilities allow me to make use of that. Okay, so let's look at the rest of what Synthesis does. This mastery bypasses any healing reduction or negation. So if an enemy does something to me where I can't heal this round, Synthesis still allows me to heal. At rank 6, you may use Molecular Barrier this round. At rank 8, after you heal a target with Synthesis, next round boost Arrow of Light's rank by half Synthesis rank.
So as I get my purple up, that will allow me to gain a little bit more attack. Now, we also have icons next to the attack ability. These icons tell you what you can affect on your opponent. So when you're using your basic attack, the Floromancer can inflict either health damage, or he can also inflict influence, or increase the influence. Alright, and then we have our Healing Ray. That's our second ability here. Mastery, I should say. You may use this mastery during the movement phase to harness the sun's power. Raise each hero's health or energy, my choice, by 3 for this game turn. So I'm spending 2 energy, and I get to raise either my health or my energy by 3. So that's actually going to be really good because I have a fairly high energy rank. So I will likely be doing that. In combat, Healing Ray creates 2 + 1/3 molecular barrier, that's my defend, rank motes that last until they are consumed or combat ends. Anytime a target suffers health damage, you may choose to consume 1 or more motes to heal that target's health equal to half blue. At rank 7, you may also use Arrow of Light this round. Alright, so that's that. We're starting the game with 8 gold, 8 food, and a fair amount of items here. The Wayfarer's Cloak is going to help us heal health and energy after the movement phase, so that'll be good. We have trail maps, so let's go ahead and use that right away. Trail maps, basically you take a random, you have to take the 6 hex tiles that contain the wayposts. So wayposts are in orange. And we're going to take a random hex tile from here, and we get to place that on the map. Okay. Alright, so this is tile N, which we actually have a a destination on tile N. So I'm going to place that up here. I'm going to shuffle these back in. Alright, so let's look at that. We have the 9th boss, big old marsh in this area. And let's put our destination on the board. That's going to be right there. And that's a survival, so that's actually pretty good. I can make that fairly easily. I was looking at this destination here. This is a keeper destination. In order for us to complete it, we actually have to bring 2 jade acorns, and then we can complete that destination. So I don't have any jade acorns at the moment. I can purchase them here. And it looks like we have a nice road that goes all the way over to that area, so I can get there safely, which is actually a pretty good thing. The other thing I was considering was we could move down here and grab the second favor. So favors are basically like they're like blessings. Blessings are something we show in the Valley of the Dead King. Favors are a little bit different. Basically, you go to a battle site, you camp there, and you gain a favor from the spirit that resides in that battle site. Battle sites are locations where heroes have actually fought Adrimon in the past. When they died, their relics were basically broken into pieces and scattered across the world, the forest, I should say. And so the idea is we are trying to build those relics at the bottom of the board here. Okay, so the reason I wanted to go to number 2 was because you can get the favor of the Forest Guardian. Heroes reduce the fate die result by 1 when harvesting. Additionally, if the roll result is or becomes a hex, you gain 2 Nature's Essence instead of 1. So that is going to help us actually get that point of valor for the Hearts of the Forest, if we can get enough of those. So that is definitely something that I'm interested in doing. I also have a destination down here, and that is a survival which is something we can do. So why don't we start the game with, let's see. We are going to go down here. We start the game with a fair amount of food, so I think I'm in a good position to just try that. So my first game turn, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to end in the Enthralled City. I move across the road, so that means I'm moving cautiously. So whatever roll result I get on Navigate, I don't necessarily have to, I can ignore it as long as it's not a critical success. If it's a critical success, then I get Nature's Essence. So I make it anyway. I do not make my Explore roll. I needed a 3 or lower. I rolled a 5. I did make Survival with a 4. But you know what? I'm going to use my Survivalist ability, my Faun ability here. Fawns are playful, mischievous. Once per game turn for 2 energy, they may treat your survival roll result as a critical success. So I go down to a 7 energy. That makes that a critical success. Okay, so my TP goes from 0 to 1, meaning I get 1 rank. Okay. And that means the next time I will heal when we actually, have that happen. Now I also get to roll a die to see. I get to roll the 8-sided die to see if we get a essence vine. I'm sorry, a seed. So that is going to be shown on Elwyn's Grove card here. So the difficulty is a 6. It's going to cost me 0 energy, and if I get a 6 or lower, I get a infused seed from that survival roll. And I rolled a 6. So we get our first infused seed of the game. That's a group item we're going to show on the battle mat here and the lower right-hand corner. Okay. The next thing that happens, so we've gone through our movement phase, we've gone through our skill phase. So the next thing that's going to happen is the Enthralled City phase. Now when we started the game, we actually rolled for searching for gear. But there's a different mechanic when you actually go to these locations in the game later on. Later on, when you go to these locations, they're dangerous places. We're actually going in to search and loot the city for gear. So the first thing that we're going to do is you have to determine your groups. This is a one-player game, so it's very easy. I'm just one hero group. If a hero searches alone, they'll use their own skill roll results. So I need to roll your skills, and then we roll for the group effect, and then we roll for gear. Now, they receive a +1 penalty to the fate die result, but gain 2 additional rolls on the searching for gear table. So because I'm going alone, it's going to be a little bit more lucrative for me to try and find more stuff. So first of all, we're rolling our skills. We're going to see how many successes we get. I have 1 success. That's it. I could have waited to use my Faun ability here to treat that success as a critical. But I didn't. So that means we only have 1 success, and that is our Navigate. So what does that look like? 1 success, and the modifier is a -1, but because of the +1 penalty for being a single player, that goes to a 0, which means this is not modified when we roll that fate die. We roll a fate die, we get a 5. That means our fate timer goes up by 1. Okay, and the fate timer is basically Adrimon's influence in the forest, or her influence on us in the forest. So I'm going to put just a dot on the 1 here. All right, so we've rolled a 5 on the Enthralled City's placard here. So what that says is mind-wiped guards have cornered you. Each hero suffers 3 non-lethal health damage. So what non-lethal damage is it's basically damage that is health damage that will not kill me. So my health was 7. We dropped down to 4. And then we get to roll on the loot table. So the searching for gear table, because we went alone and we actually get to roll, we have only 1 success for our skill. That means we have 1 total gear upgrade plus the 2 for being alone. So that means we have 3 total rolls on here. I think I'm going to go with the items instead. I'll go with 2 items and 1 gear upgrade. So let's see what that is. So my let's go with green for the gear upgrade and blue and yellow for the items. So for the gear, we rolled a 10. That's a +1 to energy. Because these are gear upgrades, they're not just rank increases. We do go ahead and mark the gear upgrade slot on the hero board. Okay. And then what do we have for gear? So for gear, we rolled a 4 and an 8. So a 4 is giant elixir and 6 food. And an 8 is 2 jade acorns. Look at that. We found those jade acorns that we need to complete that keeper quest, or keeper destination. So that's great. Jade acorns. 2. And we had a giant elixir, which is also good. All right, so we are done with, and then the food. And the food, I can only go up to 10, so I go to full food. So that's good. All right, so that was our first game turn. After each game turn, we go into the villain phase. And during the villain phase, Adrimon's influence on us increases. So we go from a 1 to a 2 here. And then as this goes around, her influence on us grows, and then that will increase. And her sentinels will appear on the board. So Tumnus the Faun had a fairly good start. We're going to go into our next turn. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that means I've moved along the river and the road. That means I'm moving cautiously. So we're going to roll all 3 of our skills here. And I missed everything except for navigate. But again, I'm the fawn. I'm going to spend 2 energy to go ahead and treat that as a success, as a critical success, which means our survivalist trait will increase again. And because I critically succeeded, I also heal 1 health and 1 energy because my rank was currently 1. So our rank is now 2. We go up to 6 energy and 7 health. All right. And then, because we've treated that as a success, we get to roll the fate die. If we get a 6 or lower, we're going to get another infused seed. We rolled an 8 this time, so don't luck out. We don't get the seed. All right, so that is the skill phase. Don't get any gold, don't have to spend food because I treated that as a critical success. I find anything, I'm probably eating bark off of a tree at the moment. And then, let's see, we're in a battle site. So what does the battle site say? Battle sites are sacred locations where brave heroes have once stood against the Magi. Skip the circumstance phase upon entering a battle site, but you play one normally when you camp here. So favors are special bonuses that the group earns when they camp or defeat a sentinel while in a battle site. So that means I don't get the favor just yet. I have to camp here next round. So I'm simply going to move into the villain phase. I'm going to increase that to a 3. and then move into the next phase of the game, which is the movement phase. I'm camping to gain that blessing. So now when you camp, you also heal 3 health and energy. So that means I go up to full health and energy. We're also going to roll our skills. And I get a Hex on Navigate, which is really good. That means we get to try for a Essence Vine. I missed both Explore and Survival, but you know what? Let's use our Survivalist ability again. I'm sorry, our Fawn ability to treat that as a critical success. This synergy is really powerful. So basically what happens with your traits is once you get up to rank 3, you get a bonus +1 to a basically a different stat for each trait. In this case, it's a +1 to energy. So I'm now at rank 3 Survivalist, and that means we get a +1 energy rank. All right, and it also means that we heal +1 energy, so I'm back up to 10 out of 11 energy. All right, we have to roll for the Essence Vine. We need to roll for the Infused Seed. Now, Essence Vines are a little bit harder to get. You need to roll a 4, and it's going to cost us either 1 health or 1 energy to attempt. So I'm going to spend 1 energy to try and get that Essence Vine. We need a 4 or less, and we got a 5, so we don't get the Essence Vine. Now I'm going to try for the Infused Seed. I need a 6 or less. I got a 6, so we do get 1 more seed, so that's good. All right, and we also have the Favor of the Forest Guardian now. So I'm going to mark that on our battle mat here, Forest Guardian. So we have that. And that's going to mean that whenever we try for Essence in the future, we actually are going to get a -1 bonus to rolling this die. And if that die ever becomes a hex, or if it ever becomes a critical success, then we actually get 2 instead of 1. So that's going to be really good. All right, the last thing we need to do to complete that round is to increase our Magi's influence here. So we're going to go up to a 4. That means we're only 2 away from her taking out the first, her first influence over us. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do, we've gotten our Favor, so that's good. Let's go ahead and start to get some of our relic fragments here. Because we have a few hard-hitting encounters in the open circumstance slots, I think I'm going to continue to move cautiously. Because there's no road or river that takes us to this destination, I'm only going to be moving 1 this time. And we are moving slow, so that's going to mean that the Magi is going to, be able to kind of catch up to us a little bit. But we do have fairly decent skills at the moment, very, high skills. So that is going to help us survive the Magi's influence. All right, so we moved cautiously. We're going to roll all 3 dice here. And I rolled a 2. That's a success. Rolled a 5, that's a success, and our gold is not. All right, you know what? Let's just try and max out our trait. I'm going to use my Fawn ability once again. I'm going to go down to 7 out of 11 energy. That means we critically succeed on that Survivalist rank. That means we are all the way up to 4. Because we crit success on that, we actually gain our energy back. Again, this synergy is just wild on this. and that means we're up to full. Next thing we're going to look at is we had the crit success for the blue, which means we get to roll our die for the infused seed once again. We roll a 3. It goes down to a 2 because of the favor of the Forest Guardian, but that just means we get one more seed. So we are up to 3 seeds at the moment. We are going to roll the circumstance now, and we don't have to take it because we move cautiously. So we roll a hex. Let's see what that is. That's a draw from the deck. This is a wild magic. Magic is functioning erratically. Each time a mastery is used, roll the fate die and modify the action accordingly. On a hex, the rank increases by 1. On a 2 or 3, you heal 1 energy. On 4 or 5, nothing happens. On a 6 or 7, you suffer 1 energy drain. On an 8, the mastery fails and you defend instead. It continues 5 game turns. So on the mat here, I'm just going to mark 5. And then for each game turn that passes, we're going to check those numbers, and that will help us keep track of that card. All right, so the next thing is we go up on the Magi's influence tracker, and that it comes to a 5. All right, so next game turn, we're moving safe again. We're going to move cautiously, only 1. We're going to roll all 3 of our dice, and we make everything except for explore. You know what I'm going to do with that fawn ability. I'm going to continue to max out my survivalist rank here. So we're up to rank 5. And let's see, then I heal that energy that I've spent, and I get to roll the die to see if we get the infused seed. It becomes a hex. That 2 we get a -1. It becomes a hex. That means we get 2 seeds because we have the favor of the Forest Guardian. So that's really good. We've got 5 seeds going into this game. Next thing that happens is we are going to roll for a circumstance. We roll a hex again, and we find the red clover. Finally, a bit of good luck. Red clovers are symbols of life and prosperity in the forest. Today, while hiking, you found an entire field of them. The rare plant usually has 4 leaves, but while searching, you found one with 5. Whenever the group encounters an affliction, draw the additional card before resolving it. The group may choose to play only one of the 2 cards. If you do, discard the other. That is awesome. We are going to take that red clover treasure card. So whenever we get an affliction, we get to choose the card to keep out of that affliction and the card after that you choose. All right, so then we have our event phase. And this is going to be our survival card here. Now on a 1-player game, the playstyle is written such that when you roll skill dice to attempt a destination, you get to roll twice and apply both results. Okay, so I'm going to be rolling twice, and then I am going to get both results. This is also a spirit guide quest, destination. So as you can see in the right below where it says survival, it says spirit guide. So the spirit of the fallen hero is assisting us in obtaining a piece of their equipment. When a destination card states spirit guide, the effect occurs if at least half the group succeeds when attempting to complete the destination. You reveal the top 3 cards of the fragment deck, and you get to choose one to keep. Shuffle the others back into the fragment deck. If all heroes fail their skill rolls, increase the tracker by 1. Okay, so the spirit's going to get angry at us if we fail, or if we fail, Adrimon actually sees us working trying to get these fragments. So I need to roll survival. I get to roll it twice. I need to get at least one success, and I roll a 7, so that is not a success. I probably should have waited to use my Fawn ability, but that's okay. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we get a 5 or lower, and we roll a 4. So we get the 1 success. That means we, because this is Spirit Guide destination, we get to look at the top 3 cards. So we have the figurine, we have the sword, or we have, come on, the shield. All right, so we have the shield. Now, Jormungandr Shield is actually an item we're working on, so I think that's the card we're going to keep. So I'm going to put these other 2 cards back into the deck to shuffle them back in. Okay. And then we get to gain this fragment card from the destination. Now, when you gain the fragments, you actually get to choose one of the 3 rewards at the bottom of the card. So in this case, I can either gain +2 to my defend, +3 health, or I can draw 2 power-up cards. So I think I'm going to draw 2 power-up cards. One other thing to note is that we have the Magi's symbol in the upper corner here. Upper left-hand corner. Whenever we draw a card that has this, the Magi's Fate Tracker increases by 1. So what that means is before the end of the turn arrives, this goes up to a 6. Okay, so we'll just keep that, and I'm going to record a 1 inside the Fate Tracker here. Now what that means is if any hero has a 1 for their skill ranks, if their skill ranks are equal to or lower than the Fate Tracker, they begin to become mind wiped. So the nice thing is that we actually have pretty healthy skills. Right, we have a 6, 3, and 5, so we don't necessarily have to worry right now. Until that becomes a 3, at that point I would lose access to my HEXplore. So thankfully we are safe a little bit here. All right, not only do we gain the fragment card for completing this destination, but we also gain access to an essence vine. So we have to roll, we have to spend either 1 health or 1 energy. I will spend 1 energy, and we have to roll the fate die. And I got a 6. It is lowered to a 5. We needed a 4 or less in order to get that essence vine. So unfortunately we don't get the essence vine. That's okay, and we can move on. So we gained the shield. That means we get 2 power-up cards, and what do we get? We get a +1 to attack and a +1 to both masteries. So that's really good. We'll definitely take it. Let me just increase that here. Okay. Awesome. That's definitely a good draw for us. And then moving on to the end of the game turn here, we increase the Magi's influence once again, and we are now up to right here, and we'll go around that circle again. All right, so this destination is complete. We have 1 piece of the shield. And the shield is definitely a good thing for us. All right, so where should we go from here? Where should we go? I'm almost thinking, because we have the Jade Acorns, I think we can go up and get this Keeper destination taken care of. That's all the way back up here. Because I could try and do... you know what? I think I'm going to continue to just move cautiously. I'm just going to move one back here, play it safe, just a little bit longer here, because we have wild magic going on. Alright, so we have a 2, a 3. That means we get some gold. That's good. Alright. And let's see, we have our... I'm not going to do my survivalist rank just yet. So let's go ahead and roll a circumstance. We rolled a 3. Sarthawin's gemstone. This isn't unavoidable, so we do have to take it. Alright, so this dark gem is jagged and emits tendrils of shadow. As soon as you touch it, you realize you've fallen prey to a curse. Each time this hero consumes food equal to their food rating during the skill phase, this hero gains regen health and energy equal to their initial food rating +1 for the remainder of the game turn. Okay. Oh, roll target dice. One hero gains this item and loses 3 ranks in health and energy. Oh, that's me. So I'm oh, that's terrible. So I lose 3 ranks in health and energy. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's terrible. I go down to 4 health. 4 health, 8 energy now. Oh, Sarthawin's gemstone, cursed item. Each time this hero consumes food equal to their food rating during the skill phase, this hero gains regen for the remainder of the game turn. Health and energy equal to their initial food rating +1. Okay. Alright. Wow. So that's basically whenever I fail a survival roll, that's when I get that regen. That's when that regen kicks in. So that was terrible for my health. Not necessarily a good thing for this round. All right. Next, we are going to increase the fate tracker and move into the next game turn. So next game turn, I'm going to move along the river and road 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And then we're going to roll our dice again here. And we have a fail, a 5, and a 2. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and let that fail, and then we'll see if we can do battle here. I'm not quite sure if this is going to work in our favor or not, but we'll see. All right, so first thing that happens, we make our navigate. Obviously, we don't need to worry about that. We make our explore, so we get 2 gold. We fail our survival, so we are going to spend 2 food, which kicks in our regen. The regen is going to be 3, so we are going to have 3 regen now for the rest of the game turn. Then we move into the circumstance phase. So let's see. We roll a 3, and 3 is the drained affliction. So this is going to actually help us because we've got that red clover. So whenever we gain a affliction, we actually get to draw the additional card before resolving the affliction. Alright, so let's read the affliction first. So drained. The Magi's indomitable will saps the party of their very desire to resist her. At the end of the Magi's phase of each game turn, each hero suffers energy damage equal to the current fate cycle. Ooh, this affliction remains for 4 game turns. So let's grab the next one. Oh, and look at that. It's another treasure. Herbalist Kit. You've found an old rucksack containing a masterfully crafted Herbalist Kit. The heroes may use this kit outside of combat to do one of the following. Sacrifice 1 infused seed to gain 2 remedy tonics. Sacrifice 1 essence vine to gain 2 green fire potions. Or sacrifice 1 heart of the forest to increase one hero's health or energy rank by 3. Well, that could get me back my my health that I lost here. Not too concerned with the energy loss because we started with a pretty healthy amount, but that's pretty good. We have 3 3 treasure cards at the moment. So that means we are going to get rid of this Affliction card. We don't want it. We've got our red clover. We are going to mark off the Fate Tracker increase, and the Wild Magic is at round 3. Alright, so then that's the end of the round. Next round, our next game turn, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's that. So we're going to roll skills, and we roll a 3, 3, and 8. Okay, so we make our survival roll. All right, we're going to roll for a circumstance. I rolled a 1, and that would be the Tormented Treants. So the Tormented Treants, they actually can be, I wonder if I can actually do this. I'm not sure. Dual target energy drain. They defend. Dual target health. Each target becomes entangled. Triple target health. Block 10. Eesh. Yeah, you know what? We're moving cautiously. I am not powerful enough, especially with that health loss. I'm not going to be able to take these down. Maybe if they were monstrous humanoid, because I am the fawn and my favorite opponent is monstrous humanoid, maybe I could take them on if they were that, but because they're magical nature, there's no way I would want to take on the Tormented Treants at this point. They're a level 5 encounter, and we're just starting the game. So I move cautiously to avoid them on the road. I wait until they pass, and then we're going to increase the fate timer again. And let's see what else happens. So the next game turn. I'm going to just move 1. Again, I'm moving cautiously. I don't want to move. I don't want to get there, right away, because then I have to take a circumstance that's on the board. I'd just rather not do that if I don't have to. So I'm going to roll my skill dice once again. We got a hex for navigate. We failed our survival. I'm going to use my fawn ability to make that into a critical success. And check that out. That's going to mean that we actually get up to rank 6. We fill out our survivalist. Okay. And at rank 6, my critical success range increases by 2. So now whenever we get a hex 2 or 3 on survival, then that means we get a crit success. So that's awesome. All right, we did get the crit success on both the survival and the navigate. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to spend 1 energy to attempt to get the essence vine. We need a 5 or lower. We got a 3. That turns into a 2. It's not a crit, which means we do get only 1 essence vine. That's good. And then the seed is free. We don't have to spend anything for that. Let's go ahead and roll. We need a 7 or lower, and we got a 7. I don't know if you can see that. 7. So we have one more seed. Okay, then we roll for the circumstance for the game turn. We get a hex, and let's take a look. Oh, this isn't funny. All right, it's unavoidable. 3 mischievous fairies have played a terrible prank on you. They've hidden half your food. Each hero roll navigate. If at least 1 hero succeeds, you manage to find the food hidden among the trees. If all heroes fail, all heroes lose half their food reserves. The rude little fairies simply laugh at your poor luck. All right, so I need to roll navigate. I need to see if I can find my food that's been hidden amongst the trees by these mischievous fairies. Come on, I need a 6 or lower. I got a 9. Okay, so they steal all my half my food. I can't find it. I have to move on. Like I'm just at my wit's end here. So I had 8 food. Now I go down to 4 food. All right, that was the circumstance. So then we move into the Magi phase, and we are only 1 turn away from increasing that fate tracker to 2, the fate cycle to a 2. All right, so that was the last game turn of our nature event, Wild Magic. So we didn't get a chance to use our masteries, which I probably should have been using Synthesis. I'm sorry, Healing Ray. That could have been a good thing to use. Didn't really think of it. I probably should have. All right. Next on the agenda, we're going to move 1 more over here. And we moved cautiously again because we only moved 1. We're going to roll all 3 of our dice. We are on a destination now, so that's good. Failed. That is a critical success because of our survivalist ability. That was the other thing. Because we went up to rank 6, we actually get that rank 6 bonus, which is an extra survival rank. So I'm going to mark that down, and our survival does go up to rank 6, so that's good. We get to see if we have the if we've found a seed. We need a 7 or lower, and we get a 6. So we find another seed. All right, so we have 7 seeds currently. That is awesome. And then we are going to roll for our circumstance. Rolled a 2 off camera, and we are looking at the Great Elk. A Great Elk. So we're in the forest, and this magnificent elk is before us. Single target energy, group health of 5. Ooh, group health, piercing 4. Nope, I am not strong enough to take on the Great Elk, and he's not a savable opponent. So I am going to, because he's at level 5, we are just going to let him pass. We value, the Faun the Floromancer here values the life of the Great Elk, and he's not that hungry. So, all right. At the end of the game turn, Fate Tracker goes up, and our Fate cycle increases to 2. Okay. So thankfully, our skills are not a 1 or a 2. Next cycle increase, though, we're going to lose our ability to explore and get gold. So I definitely need to get that up before then. Oh, before the end of the game turn, we do have that destination to do. So that is destination D. Let's take a look at that. That is our keeper destination. A young sprite named Toot keeps watch over the fragment here. He is an energetic and playful soul. He can often be found chatting or climbing with the small woodland animals. He will relinquish the fragment he has found for 2 jade acorns. So yep, getting rid of those 2 jade acorns, and we're going to pick the... he will relinquish that. Okay, and then the challenge also states, give him 2 more jade acorns, and next time you visit Ellen's Grove, he will teach you to climb the great trees. So we don't have 2 more, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pick our card here. That's the staff. We actually do have the staff on the board, so that's actually a good card for us. Of the 3 choices, what do you think? We could either get a +1 to synthesis, a +1 to navigate. I think I'm going to take the power-up card, because the power-up card will certainly help us here. So let's see what we get. Oh, look at that, +1 health. We need it. Now we go back up to 5 health. Measly health rank there. All right, so that is the end of that game turn. Okay, next game turn. Let's take that destination off here. We're done with that one. Let's see. Next game turn, we could move into the. Let's move into the Waypost. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, moving along the road, and we are going to move into that Waypost. We get to roll our 3 dice here, our skill dice. I missed navigate on a crit fail. However, we moved cautiously along that road, thankfully, so we don't have to worry about that. I made my survival, and I did not make my explore. Okay. Moving into the circumstance phase, we don't have a circumstance because we are in a location that doesn't require one. So then we have our Waypost placard here, and that's going to tell us what we can do. So skip the circumstance phase. The group may choose to pay 1 gold to heal all lost health and energy. The group draws 1 additional destination card per relic to a maximum of 4. So we're going to put out those. Okay, so looking at that, really the only one on the board currently is this guy over here. If we can take Marekakek out, we would get a bounty for that. Unfortunately, with 5 health, there's not much that we're going to be able to do, and only 2 on my attack, so I really have to continue to play this safe. We do have a Elwyn's Grove location here, an entry portal, so we could possibly get into the Grove. In order for us to do that, we need to make sure that there is at least one circumstance that has Elwyn's Grove symbol on it, and we do. We have Helpful Pixie and the annoying, Helpful Nixie and the annoying Pixie on the board. Those each have the Elwyn's Grove symbol. So the portals are all open. We could enter Elwyn's Grove if we wanted to. We have 7 seeds and 1 vine. Let's see, there's one right here. Okay, I think before I can do anything, I think I need to spend some gold. So I think we are going to get harvesting equipment. So that's going to cost me 3. Harvesting equipment. Heroes reduce the fate die result by 1 when harvesting. So that means I get to reduce it by 2. Additionally, the group may now climb the great trees that exist in the world. This allows you to harvest nature's essence there. We get to roll the 6-sided die to the event phase on a result of 1 to 3. We get to attempt to harvest infused seed. 4 or 5, an essence vine, or a roll of a hex, a heart of the forest. So we can go to any great tree and harvest. Not only that, but when we harvest, we actually get a -2 to the roll. So that is that's really good. Harvesting equipment. What else? I think I'm also going to get Elven riding saddles for 4. That means we can our movement increases to 5/2. That means 5 normal movement and 2 cautious movement. So that's good. And what else do we have here? Workshop supplies, that could be good. For 5, we could get the Dragonfly Glider. If the heroes start their turn on a great tree or mountain, during the movement phase, they may move up to 10 hexes across the map as normal movement. Gain 2 additional movement if the heroes also use harvesting equipment last game turn. Oh, that's pretty good. So we could do that, and that would also Dragonfly Glider. That's a hard one. I'm not sure what I want to do here. Constitution booster, raise 6 health. The Constitution booster would be really good during combat, as it raises health. We do have a Giant's Elixir as well. Yeah, you know, Constitution booster might be good. So let's get a Constitution booster for now. And that's going to cost us 4. Alright, so, you know, I'm not sure if, yeah, Mrekakek is a bounty. He's actually a monstrous humanoid. So I'm actually good against monstrous humanoids. I think we have a fair chance of going up against him and winning. And that's going to give us quite a few good benefits here. So I think that's going to be our next action. All right. So at the end of this turn, we go into our next fate cycle increase, a fate tracker increase. So I've just added a 3rd dot to the top there. If we go around one more time, we will be in some serious hurt as we can no longer gain gold by exploring, at least. All right, so next game turn, I think we should do the survival destination here. All right, so in order for us to do that, we're going to move to, because we have Elven Saddles, we can move cautiously, which is definitely good. And then we're going to roll all 3 dice. Navigate is a 2, that's good. We get a Hex on Survival, which means we heal, because of our Survivalist trait. We heal to full. And we also gain 3 on our roll for Explorer, so that gives us a couple gold. So that's good too. Let's roll for that infused seed. I need a 5 or lower. We get a 6 minus 2 is 4, so we made it. And that means we get 1 infused seed. We go up to 8. Okay. So we're finding an infused seed in the middle of the marsh. Not only that, but we are also in for a circumstance. We rolled a 3. Moonclaws, magical nature. I value nature, you know, being the Floromancer. I don't want to spend my items to allow me to help do a combat with this, so I'm not actually going to attack it. So my fawn, Tumnus, just kind of watches the Moonclaw, which is a panther-like creature, as it moves through the marsh. All right, replace that card. And then we are going to play the survival destination. Okay, so the survival destination. This is a Twisted Fate card. So what that means is the combination of the Magi's magic, wild magic, and the fallen hero's emotional connection has altered this place strangely. If at least one hero critically succeeds, draw 1 additional fragment. If at least one hero critically fails, then you increase the fate tracker by 1. Now, holy cow, I did not use my my fawn ability this turn, so I could make this card into a critical success, which means we're going to get 2 fragments out of this card. Very, very good. Oh my gosh, check out the bottom piece here. The Floromancer is part of this as well. If the Floromancer is currently in play and completes this destination, roll a 10-sided die. If the result is less than or equal to Healing Ray, oh, I only have a 30% chance here, double the raise amount during the movement phase. Oh, that could be huge. That could be huge if we make it. All right, so I need to roll survival. I rolled a 5, but you know what? Because I am the fawn, I can treat that roll as if it were a critical success. So not only do we get the +1 to our blue, which is going to give us a better chance at making that roll, we also get 2 fragments out of this. So we get the staff and the figurine. All right, so we don't have the figurine in play. That's okay, but we do have the staff. So let's see. We can either take
a +2 to energy, a +1 to purple, or a +2 to health. I think I'm going to take the +2 to health from the figurine. So that we're going to go up to 7 health. And then I'm going to take the power-up bonus from the staff. Alright, so power-up bonus is +3 health. We got our health back. Yes! Alright, that's good. That's really good. So we're back up to a decent amount of health now. Check that out. We have 10 health, 8 energy, and we have a slightly decent, better chance at fighting anything that we encounter here going forward. So that is awesome. Okay. Next, we get to roll that crit success for our destination to see if the Floromancer gets the bonus. So I need a 4 or lower on this. Let's see what we get. Oh, a 10. We didn't get it. That's okay. So this destination goes away. And then what else do we have here? Okay. So at the end of the game turn, we are going to increase that one more time. And there you have it. We'll get rid of our destination here. Did I put out all of the other destinations? Yeah, I did. So, okay. So that is it for now. I'm going to pick this up in part 2. Hey, this ends part 1 of our Floromancer One Hero playthrough. I hope you enjoyed. We did show off basically the game setup. We managed to gain a favor at one of the battle sites that we had gone to. We looted an Enthralled city. We moved cautiously most of the time to avoid encounters and dangerous situations. And we also received some essence. So completed destinations, and we were able to get some fragments as well and power-ups. So we'll move on until the next video. I hope you enjoyed, and you can always use the links down in the summary of this video to go to specific points in the game if you wanted to use those for quick navigation. So thanks again, and have a great day.